Okay, so this review is a reshoot. I'd originally got the Betatron reviews done, and then during the process of transferring, because I did it in two lots, I did Smoke Screen, Hound and Wheeljack, and then I did Trailbreaker and Scattershot because I ran out of memory on my phone, had to transfer the data over. So I transferred the Smoke Screen, Hound and Wheeljack reviews over to my PC, then went and did the Trailbreaker and Scattershot reviews, and in transferring those, accidentally overwrote the Hound and Wheeljack reviews. So they're lost, they need reshooting. This is the reshoot. These next couple videos, this video and, well, I don't know what I'm saying, because this message will be put on both of the reshoots, just so you know. I'm still going to be releasing them in the same order because I did say Wheeljack would be first from this wave because I need to show the points of articulation that I forgot to show with Sunstreaker. There might be in the Trailbreaker, Smokescreen, Scattershot reviews, there may be little things that I mentioned that I hadn't done that I will get around to doing in these new reviews. Also, I had a haircut today, so bit of a continuity error because the last three reviews of this particular set will be without the shaven back and sides. It's Transformers reviews, isn't it, though? It's not a fucking chronological linear narrative. That doesn't matter. The hair doesn't matter especially. But yeah, so I just thought I'd get that out there. These first two will both carry this message, and then it'll be on from there as normal. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, bitch. This is the reshoot of the review of Combiner Wars Hound. I'm Mike, Dezaras Prime. Welcome back to the channel. I love this figure, this mould. It sings to me. Sings Elvis. Doesn't really, but I mean, it has that thing on the back where that pops off a little too often, but I can forgive that. I believe, 4 versions of Hound now. I've got the Age of Extinction, the Last Night, which I think proportionally and paint-wise is an improvement on Age of Extinction. I can't pick a favourite between those two because I really like both of them, and I really wanted the Age of Extinction Hound for a long time. Finally got him from the Entertainer. And then I got Age of Extinction, Last Night Hound, and he's really good. But they both have the, like, I think Hound his weapons, the way his weapons all tuck in Age of Extinction is all better. I'm talking about the wrong toy here. I was going to say, 4 versions of Hound. I has this one, obviously, Combiner Wars. I have the Age of Extinction and Last Night ones, and I last week got the, was it week before? Might have been the week before. I got the Siege, War for Cybertron Siege Hound. This is my least favourite of the 4, but that is by no means a bad thing. It does not make this, in any way, shape or form, a bad toy. I fucking love this mould. He is a heavy retool of Rook from the Protector Bots, or as Mike would call him, Rook. And he was also used for Swindle. So we'll cover him when we get to Bruticus. But there's just so much detail in this bad boy that I was picking up on and gushing over in the initial review that got lost to the sands of time. But yeah, let's get into this and let's do this again, because I am more than happy to revisit this figure. Where do I begin? The detailing and the moulding and the little paint applications. It's fucking... We'll start with the head sculpt, because I always tend to start with the head sculpt, just to get a look at it. It's a very nice head sculpt. He's got that nice fucking, unlike the movie versions of Hound, the cartoon version always had that pleasant look about him, and this carries over in this. It carries over in the Siege one. He's got that nice, friendly, I'll rescue you from a river and then give you it up the arse look about him, but I'll do it gently because I love you. It's a nice head sculpt. It's very pleasant and friendly and welcoming. Unlike the movie Hound, but you know, he did call Cade a good dad. Which, you know, that's debatable. I'd say Tessa was more of a shit daughter. More of a shit person, actually. Anyway, I'm getting off topic again. But check out the detailing in the shoulders and the forearms. And there's just so much. You've got like those fucking bumps that look like, I don't know what it's called because I'm not a metallurgist or a fucking someone who works with metal and steel and that, but it's got like those nice bumps that you find are not steel sheets and that kind of thing. The forearms are great. I mean, some of the detailing on here doesn't really shine until you get to the vehicle mode and just see how it all comes together. But it's got the nice black piping down there. It's gorgeous. The chest, the peg is the same colour as everything else, which really helps it. It's got the nice black pectorals with the lights, silver painted lights. If you come down to the waist, it's got silver painted waist with the two lights there as well. Really nice stuff. The legs, I mean, it's just that the piping going down there, and that again that plays into the vehicle mode as well. You can't truly appreciate some of this detail until you transform him. See if I can get that to focus. I think it's focusing more on me. If I hide my head, it tends to get there in the end. Oh shit, I just knocked over Optimus Prime. That didn't happen in the original shoot. Bollocks. Let's see if I can... It's starting to come through a bit better, but the piping detail is really nice on this. And just wish it had come across better. There we are. I mean, check that out. There's just so many different like little layers to it. You've got the main pipeline that comes down, and you've got the little sort of like washer socket sort of things that it goes into and then comes out the other end. The feet have that nice little bit of painted silver on it. If you go around to the back, there's still a lot of detail on the back as well. It's like fucking... The detail is all over the place. I don't mean all over the place, but it's... I can't say enough good about the level of detail in these figures. Especially this one. It's really is a brilliant job done on this. And then the back, it's got that thing, that only little bit of kibble, which I said that it pops off, but you can if you want take it off, and it's got fuck all kibble there. So yeah, do with that what you will. Could tuck it down like that. It kind of gives him, you can't even see it because of the crotch piece, but yeah. There's just so much to like about this figure. And like I said, he's not my favourite Hound in my collection. But that's by no means a bad thing, because he's still a fucking gorgeous fucking figure. Let's go into articulation. 360 head, as usual. Arms come out, they go forward. They can go back. That's mainly for transformation. Upper bicep swivel, and he has the ratcheted elbows. No wrist action, but, you know, who needs to masturbate when you look like this? Get all the girls. Especially RC. She's a slag. Waist. Yeah, waist. Obligatory waist swivel. I say that every time. Basically, every limb's got a waist swivel because it needs to. When it's in its arm mode, it needs to go one way or the other depending on what side of the torso you plug it into. So yeah, that's why you'll hear me say obligatory waist swivel all the time. Legs go out, and they go forward, and they go back. And they got the thigh swivel, you got the bend at the knees, and because I don't know if it's because of the transformation or not, but this has a little bit of an ankle tilt, which I don't think does serve a transformation purpose actually, but yeah, so that's nice little touch. It's one of those few ones that has an ankle tilt. Oh, sorry. But yeah, I do like this a lot. It'll be interesting to see when I review Swindle, whether he carries over all the same levels of detail that Hound does. We're going to compare him for now, though, with Rook. And yeah, let's see how they stack up. Remember, Hound is a heavy retool of Rook. I'm going to say Rook, stop taking the piss. Sorry, Mike. He's a heavy retool, so there will be a lot of differences. So I won't be surprised by that at all. Okay, so we're back with the Hound dog and the Rook dog. Obviously, comparison-wise, like I said, heavy retool, so a lot of differences, but they are the same mould. They are cut from the same cloth, if you will. Obvious differences are the heads. And I believe Rook wasn't even a G1 character. He was brought in IDW, so Rook has that nice fucking, almost like Shredder kind of thing going on there, which is very un-Autobot-like. So this is going to be like pretty basic because, like I said, heavy retool before. Rook has the cannons moulded into his fist. You can still see the fist there, but and the forearms and the shoulders, the whole arm is apart from the I believe the biceps are the same, but the shoulders and forearms completely different. They're not even shaped the same. Well, they are shaped the similar shapes, but Hound has stockier, bulkier shoulders, it looks like, from here. Chests are different. Rook has those nice blue ridged titties, and Hound has the Jeep lights. I mean, they're both different vehicles as well. Waists different. I think they've got the same crotch piece, and it looks like the same thighs. But then we come down to the shins and the feet. Even the feet are sculpted differently. And the shins. And when it came to doing the Wheeljack and Sunstreaker comparison, I said Wheeljack pulled the mould off better. But there were quite a few differences, but they weren't heavy differences. Wheeljack wasn't a heavy retool of Sunstreaker, so the differences were more subtle and minor in comparison. So I don't know I honestly can't say which one is better out of these two because they are just so different in their robot modes. Wheel placement as well. Rook's wheels are on the side. Hound's are on his feet. So another difference there. Go around to the back. Check out the back of the legs. Yep, again, very different. Rook has that number on him. Don't know why. I might try and get that trending on Twitter if it's got a hashtag. The backs, obviously, Hound has the Jeep window. Rook has the complete fucking SWAT shielding. Side of the arms, again, different. They both have the little bit that comes down, but even they're different. Like I said, heavy retooling. It's hard to do a comparison between these two because, you know, they are so different. Like I said, they're from the same mold. That's why I'm doing the comparison. Rook has, yeah, different colours. I'm not going to say better colours. I think both pull off their colour schemes magnificently. And they are both evocative of what they represent. Hound, the military Jeep. Rook, the Protector Bot SWAT vehicle. He's got a bit of a sinister head, but he carries off the rest of it pretty well. I'm not even saying his sinister head's bad. It's just not very... It doesn't scream Protector Bot, does it? But yeah, as far as the comparison goes with their robot modes, and even when I get to the vehicle modes, that's probably the best I can do at the minute because they are so different. I'll have a better job of comparison. I'll have a better job of speaking English. I'll have a better job of comparing Hound with Swindle. So yeah, let's get to Hound's vehicle mode. Okay, so I'll get the one little thing that doesn't bug me, but the one little issue out the way are the visible hands. The very visible hands. But that's a minor thing, because Jeep mode is fucking beautiful. It is a thing of beauty. It's fucking hell. I mean, there's just so, it's like I mentioned that some of this stuff some of the detailing doesn't really shine until you get to vehicle mode, and here it is. Piping down the arms. Notice how that connects with the piping on there. I mean, look at it. It's just fucking amazing the way that this was put together and how everything just falls into place. It's, you know, it really is a magnificent piece of engineering, this figure. It's and look, he's got his little bags on the side. That excited me the first time as well. He's got his little fucking supply bags that have probably got fucking provisions in or grenades or some shit like that. And like this detailing around here, and there's more of those bumps that really add to this and make it pop. And I do love the way that the way it all just comes together. Like the arm piping there, the black bars go amazingly well into the windshield bars as well, the supports there, and peg sticking out. It's not ideal, but I'm not gonna cry about it. It's just really, I just love the way this, in both modes, it's like Mirage all over again. But you know, I was surprised by Mirage because I didn't realise how good Mirage actually was by proxy drag strip. But you know, with Hound, I knew what I was fucking. And even though this is the second take of this review, because it's, you know, I've had to redo it, but I'm just amazed by it every time, because it is just a fantastic piece of engineering. A fucking beautifully moulded figure, and it all just comes together so nicely in the Jeep mode. Yeah, I can't fucking give enough praise to Hasbro. With the Wheeljack review, I said credit to Hasbro, at least they tried. But they really fucking pulled it off with this, in my opinion. It is fucking fantastic. I love this figure. In both molds. In both modes, sorry. Yeah, I very little wrong with this at all. And yeah, it's still not the best of the four. Yet they still managed to do it. An amazing Hound that has 3 better. Yeah, that's rare, isn't it? But anyway, let's get into a quick comparison with Rook in his vehicle mode, because it won't be long, because it's just, heavy retool again, guys. Not many differences. Well, a lot of differences. It's hard to make a comparison. But yeah, let's get to that. So yeah, I did say this would be a quick comparison because, well, one's a Jeep, the other's a fucking SWAT vehicle. Yeah. Rook has 6 wheels. Hound has 4. It's really hard to do the comparison. I mean, you can tell with the back shoulder parts here that they're the same mold. Hound has them. Rook has them. Rook has the full canopy that goes over the top. I'm trying to hold the camera up whilst doing that. Give me a sec. There we are. So yeah, you can see Rook's fists there, but they are covered. So, Hounds aren't covered, but Hound is an open plan Jeep. Open plan, I don't know the term. But yeah, it's going to be hard to cover those fists up. Unless they were tuck-inable. But honestly don't see where you could do it in there without compromising the plastic integrity in the forearms. And if they did that, I'd happily take visible fists there with all this glorious detail than sacrifice some of that detail just to hide the fists. It really doesn't bother me that much. Yeah, Rook has 6 wheels, Hound has 4. They're 2 completely different vehicles. Like I've said many times already in this review, it'll be easier to compare Hound to Swindle, to look for all the little differences and things there. But it's hard to do the comparison with these two. Both fantastic toys. It's a fantastic mold, and the fact that they've turned a SWAT vehicle into a Jeep and haven't lost anything, it's a major credit to Hasbro for that. Because Rook is a brilliant little SWAT vehicle. Hound is a brilliant little Jeep. They come from the same thing. Usually when you try and retool something so heavily, there'll be a compromise or a sacrifice somewhere. And I mean, you could say the sacrifice is Hound has the visible fist because he doesn't have this massive thing covering them. But even then, it's minor. It's, fucking hell. Yeah, I'm going to stop fucking gushing over this. Let's show Hound's limb modes, shall we? Hound's leg, it's a standard leg, but it's a very successful leg at the same time. I do, does that come up for the leg mode? I'm not sure whether that comes up as a knee pad actually. It has quite a few different variations actually, maybe more than Mirage. But okay, so you can have it like that, which exposes the fists, but you've got the little added knee support there, like the kick pad thing. But do you need that? Because if you take that down, I think I might have not quite transformed this properly. I don't know. Or maybe I have. But do you need that? You take that down, and you've still got quite a lot of a kick pad, like shin guard sort of thing going on there, with the arms and the head in there. And then if you go around the back, you've got those pipes that come together nicely. Well, they don't, they fold in, but they're nice and uniform together. Which brings me to one thing, is that Hound might actually work better if that was the front of his leg. Because you've got the big fucking calf muscle there, and then the shin, that actually works as a shin. And most of the time, I go with it that way. So that port is at the back, and everything comes out forward just to, I don't know. But this is, I probably still will have him in leg mode that way. But there is a very solid argument to be made to have it that way. The only drawback, I guess, is that his foot comes forward a bit too much this side. But, you know, you've got the calf there. Is there a way to alter that? No. No. I don't think there is. But yeah, either way works for Hound. It fucking can literally go either way when it comes to Hound's leg, and whichever way you want it. It's just, there's just so much about this figure that works, and there are other ones that don't work. But this one just hits all the right notes. That's his leg mode anyway. It's a very good leg mode with a lot of options actually. More than you expect for a leg. So yeah, it wasn't the usual, it's a leg for this guy. It's another case of a job well done. Let's check out his arm. Hound's arm mode. Not as many options with this. It's his standard arm. It's still a good arm though. It's fucking, because of the nature of the toy, it is a Jeep, a military Jeep. He does have, he looks very strong, very muscular, if you will. Especially with like the pipes and bars, making it look like veins and stuff like that. Like he's seriously roided up. As an arm, it's still great. It's you know, visible hands, but honestly, what fucking limb mode doesn't have issues with the arms and stuff? I feel like this one, it's still, the hands are still visible if you're looking at them, or if you're looking for them. Yes, but you've got this that pegs in, you've got the arm straight flat down, you've got this down here. I feel like this is a tidier package than a lot of arms. I'd put the arm mode on par with Mirage. And Mirage had a great arm mode with the whole Mr. Boyd thing, arms going on. But even that was like, you know, if you looked at it from a particular angle, still had that issue of, you know, you could clearly tell they were arms. But, you know, and Hound has that same thing. But like Mirage, it's very tidy. The arm mode is very fucking neat. In terms of the how it goes together, because, you know, obviously there's a lot of detail in here and all that. So looking at the surface of it, not tidy, not as sleek and sexy as Mirage, but still, it's still a cracking arm mode because it holds together well. There's nothing poking out anywhere. There's no fucking egregious hands that are all like that and shit, and like that and all that lot. it's a very compact arm, and it's a very muscular arm as well. It's a very bulky arm. So I think I've got it as Bruticus's arm with Swindle, actually. So yeah, it's definitely a success in all modes. And like Mirage, it is definitely a 4 for 4. I'm just not gushing about it as much with the arm and leg modes because, you know, it's as expected. I knew this was a good arm, I knew it was a good leg, I just didn't realise how good Mirage was in those modes at the time. So, yeah. All in all, in conclusion, Hound is fucking fantastic. I love it. Like I said, it's not as good as Siege, Age of Extinction, or Last Night, but that doesn't make it a bad toy by any stretch of the imagination. It is one of the better Combiner War toys, one of the better limbs, not just because it's not seen as much. I mean, Rook aside, because Rook's a heavy retool, so I'm counting him because it's the same mold, but Rook aside, I've only got this one twice in, I believe, in Hound and Swindle. Just double check. I know Superine doesn't have it. He doesn't have it. He doesn't have it. Still here. Don't worry. I haven't run off and left you. Yeah. I've only got it twice. So yeah, it's one of those that I've only got Mirage and Dragstrip as well from that mold, so I've only got that mold twice as well. It's not oversaturated, but that isn't why I like this toy so much. It's just a fucking cracking figure. But when you've got, like, talk about oversaturation, you've got, again, the same helicopters used for Defensor, Superion, and Bruticus, and the same jet modes used countless times, yet this is only used twice. That definitely plays into it, I think, but you know, uniqueness or rarity aside, it is still a fucking gorgeous toy that looks excellent in robot mode. It looks neat in arm mode. It has options more than usual for a leg mode, and the vehicle mode, the way it all just goes together, everything just falls into place so sublimely. I'm going to start gushing about this toy. It's just, I'm going to put you down and pick you up again. It's a great figure. Even if you don't collect Combiner Wars. I got it for fucking £10 from B&M. I got this entire wave, with the exception of Scattershot, from B&M for a tenner a piece. The whole set was there, those 4. And yeah, don't regret it one bit. Because yes, I got Wheeljack, but I also got Smokescreen, which is a great figure. I got Hound, and I got Trailbreaker, which is a marked improvement on Ironhide. Hound's the real star of that wave. Hound is the star of the show. I've been Dezaras Prime. He's been nothing but a fucking amazing hound dog. You shall see me next time.